talk about an interesting thing called the Infinity Mandap that you created recently, right? You 32,000 roses.
Roses, yeah.
Which is insane. And that won you many accolades. That's not just design there, that's engineering as well. Like,
Yes.
I saw the picture and I was like, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through that project? Like, what were your biggest challenges with that particular project, and how did you even come up with stuff like that?
So,
Your Origin Story is a podcast that uncovers the inspiring journeys of Goa's most successful people. Hosted at the Origin Goa, we dive into the challenges, motivations, and secrets behind their success. Tune in to be inspired by the origins of greatness.
Today, we are joined by Mark Rodrigues, the founder and creative head of Crafting Memories, one of Goa's most innovative wedding and event design companies. Mark is known for creating celebrations that are deeply personal, experiential, and architecturally thoughtful, always beginning with the couple story, not the decor. His journey began in Goa's nightlife scene with Storm 7, where he learned the foundations of experience, atmosphere, and execution. Today, he brings that understanding into weddings that feel seamless, emotional, and visually striking. Let's dive into Mark's journey, his thoughts, and how he transforms spaces into unforgettable memories. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the show. Let's
Thank
start
you.
at the beginning. I'm very excited to have you here today.
thank you.
We were looking forward to it for quite some time. So thank you for making the time to
Yes.
come.
Thank you for calling us. Also.
So let's start at the very beginning. So what first drew you into the world of events, and did you do something different before events? Like, what was your story?
So this was never in the plan or the pipeline, I would say. Before, like after college, during college, in fact, I picked up a job at the same time. So I was working for a call center for like three months.
Okay.
Because they promised like a base salary, so I was like happy with that.
Okay.
And so that was like my first job. Events was never in the plan, but through this whole process during college and all, we used to always get calls to kind of volunteer at maybe like a mall de Goa,
Okay.
or like suppose any football, if they need like manpower for any football matches and all, then I used to go for that.
Okay.
And I used to find it very interesting because you get to see new people,
Yeah.
you get to see new places and new things to kind of explore through that whole journey. So it was nice. That was
What drew you into?
yes, what drew me into it, because you're always doing something different
Yeah.
at every day, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So you thought professionally, let me get into this.
Yeah, professionally, yeah, might as well explore that. It was not
Yeah.
at that time. Also, it was not that okay, I want to get into events. Like, might as well let's try
So
it
this was in
into
your
something.
college days.
Yes, in college. Yeah.
How old were you?
Uh, I was 19 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, 18,
very
19.
young.
That was in third year.
In third year.
Yes.
Wow. Bold step, huh?
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about Storm 7? That was your first
Yes.
venture, right? What all did you do in those early days with Storm 7? Any things that you tried out which worked well for you, and anything that you tried that didn't stick? Can you tell us more about
With regards to Storm 7, so it was a very random thing. So me and my classmates, a lot of my friends, we used to do a lot of house parties. Like after college, we used to go to the band. I was in Rosary College, so we used to go to the band and drink and party and all of
Yeah.
that. So then we eventually moved that to our friends' terraces.
Okay.
We did like house parties, and my friend was a DJ, like a very close friend.
Mhm.
We thought we wanted to take this to a different space and organize something like, chalo, let's do our own party kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's when we thought like, okay, we need a name. So me and my very close friend Anderson, we started this company called Storm 7.
Okay.
The name came out through a very random incident where we were just like at uncle's in Naveli smoking a cigarette, and
Okay.
we were like, okay, what do we? It was raining very heavily, and we were like, okay, what do we name the company? And then we thought of like, okay, Storm, because it's raining. Very random idea, but yeah, it is what it is today.
And the 7?
And 7 is my favorite number, so
Oh.
yes.
Mine too. So.
Oh, nice. So that's how the
That's
whole
how
thing came
it
into
came
existence.
about.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell us anything that you tried that worked well for you, or anything that didn't work so well?
With regards to the gigs,
Yeah, right, with Storm 7.
so our first gig was at Green Amaze. We kind of tried to get a nice lineup. So the thing is, that time we were just trying to figure out who we should get also as a lineup.
Okay.
We got all the heavyweights, the boys from Goa, like
Yeah.
right from Naveen, Jay, Mackie, Renton.
Good call then.
Yes, and it was a nice gig. We also wanted to get like a headliner. So that time we looked upon this good act from Delhi. So they were called NDS and Blue.
Okay.
They've been playing some good gigs, touring in Barcelona in Europe. They did a lot of gigs over there.
Oh, I see.
So we thought we might, and they've also supported like a lot of artists like Amin Van Buren. So their music was also recognized.
Okay.
So we thought might as well get them to Goa
Yeah.
and like have a nice gig. So it was a nice experience getting them on board because it was a different style of music also at
And
the
this
same
was your
time.
first, like,
Yes, it
very
was the first gig.
event. So you went like big.
Yeah, we wanted to go all out because
Yeah.
there's no use starting small and then
Yeah.
building it. You might as well start with a bang and then you make sure it is kind of consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
So even from a production point of view, we had a few connections for sound and light, and LED wall is something we were stuck with. But then eventually, after making a couple of calls, our LED wall came from Pune.
Oh,
So that was also a very interesting thing because we did like a nice triangular design.
okay.
Because everyone usually does like a rectangle shape. We thought of giving a
Doing
different,
something
yeah,
different,
and
thinking out of the box.
yes, mixed it up with like a lot of special effects. So that the whole experience was good.
It was good.
For ticketing, also a lot of we were trying to. That time we didn't have like places to keep tickets and all. It was all your friend circle that was excited about the gig. So we used to give everyone like 50-50 tickets,
Oh.
and they would sell like in colleges.
And were you sold out for this event?
Yeah, we were
It was a
kind of sold
success.
out. Yes, it was a good gig.
Oh. Very,
But
very
a lot of people came on the guest list also because the ticketing culture doesn't work very well.
Yeah,
So
especially when you're starting.
yeah,
out with
when you're
ticketing.
starting. So we build on the guest list, and then eventually people kind of get that FOMO of like missing, like
Yeah,
feeling of missing
yeah.
out,
Oh, I
and then
wish
they'll
I would've
probably
been there.
yes,
Yeah,
and then they pick up tickets and all of that.
So at what moment, Mark, did you feel you were ready to move on from nightlife to then you moved on to weddings, destination weddings and events?
Yeah.
So with crafting memories, that's what you do, right?
Yes.
So at what point did you think like, let's move on to this different venture?
So while we were doing parties and gigs at Storm 7, a lot of like friends used to have like their private events like a 21st birthday or like a silver jubilee anniversary kind of a thing of their parents. So since they knew we had an idea of organizing stuff
Yeah.
and even curating it in a nice experience, they always called us to do their events.
Okay.
So through that we got into decor.
Okay.
But that time we couldn't like say Storms and weddings because the brand, it couldn't really go well with weddings.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep the brand separate for nightlife and like events.
Yeah.
More of like social events and parties and all of that. And crafting memories would be only for like weddings, events, celebrations kind of a thing.
I see.
So it relates to more of like people oriented events.
So this is something it inspired you because of the other people that were having, your friends that were having.
Yes, because they had a requirement for like decor or for example arranging for a bartending team, arranging for mixologist. So we couldn't rotate through that brand. It had to be kept under crafting memories.
And there was a demand for it.
Yes, there was definitely a demand.
Okay.
And through crafting memories, it was more of like the whole name also. We always wanted to keep people's memories in mind because that's what remains at the end of every event.
Right.
And crafting is because we always wanted to craft and do something different for each event.
The design part of it.
The design part of it, and even like from a point of customization, even if we are doing like some cocktail tables, having some nice write-up along with the bar menu.
Yeah.
So keeping it more personalized and custom.
Nice and thoughtful, I would
Yeah,
say.
more of thoughtful stuff.
And with crafting memories, what was your vision when you began? Like, how do you think it has evolved over time? Because now it's been a while you're in it, right? So how has it evolved?
So, I mean, for crafting memories, it was from a decor front, I always felt that Goa, like as a market also, we've seen a lot of template based stuff. Like for example, you pick this table and you keep it there, or it's kind of repetitive also at the same time. So we wanted to kind of have something that is unique in the decor space, but also at the same time try and reflect what the couple is as a person, like what's their personality, and see how we can incorporate that in the decor or the experience through the whole right from the time like their guest reach the entrance till the dance floor till the seating. So we wanted to make sure all the touch points are kind of kept in mind.
That's very, very nice and very
Yes.
different from the regular, like,
Yes,
decor
because
kind
see,
of.
otherwise it is kind of boring as for me to kind of
Yeah.
take this table and kind of keep it at another space, then move it to another venue.
Right.
You might as well add a little bit more of a personalized touch to it to kind of
Yeah.
make it feel different at
And
least.
that is maybe like your unique selling point, right?
Yes, yes.
It's
So a lot of clients today kind of work with us because they know we can kind of work as per, if they have a vision in mind, they
Yeah.
come to us because they know in terms of execution we will ace it.
Ace it,
But
yeah.
some clients also are fine with like having what is kind of there in the inventory or there in the production houses.
Yeah. But that's wonderful that you offer that to
Yes.
whoever has that wish to have
Yeah.
a
Wish and the
very
budgets
personalized,
also.
yeah, budget as well. Very, very true. Yeah.
Very true.
Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Origin Goa here in Serauli. We'd love for you to stop by for some delicious food and great cocktails so we can keep bringing you more of these amazing stories. Your visit would mean the world to us. Um, Mark, can you tell us a little bit more about how this industry works in generally? From the outside, I know it looks like the barrier to entry is too high, so much inventory and so many moving parts. So, like, how does this work? This industry really?
So the barrier to enter is high, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's easy. In fact, it's
Yeah.
very easy for anyone to enter. Like, and we've seen a lot of people like over time also get into the space. But I think sustaining in the industry is more important
Okay.
because it's not about one event. It's someone's big day, and you
Yeah.
can't really mess up with it.
Right.
So it is easy to kind of get into the business, but like executing it to the T is something that is important.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can plan a lot of things, but
Yes, execution is important. Even in terms of decor, like
Yeah.
you can go to Pinterest, you can get ideas.
Correct.
But when it comes to execution, you should actually know what the material is like,
Yeah.
how you're planning on executing. Are there
Yes.
any challenges in executing?
Yeah.
So we kind of do a proper study of what is actually executable. Designing and dreaming is one thing,
Yeah,
and
it has to
execution on
be
site is,
realistic.
you have to be realistic
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that also kind of has a lot of cost implication in the end.
Correct.
Because
You can't go
today you
overboard,
sell
yeah.
one idea and then the client liked it, and then later once you're executing it, you realize that
This is not
this is
out
not as
of,
per how I
you had thought of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be quite the task.
yes.
Now, your design philosophy is not decor first, but story first, right?
Yes.
So, how do you build a story and translate that into an unforgettable event for someone?
So through this whole process, when we started, like I started crafting memories in 2017. In 2019, we got a mail from a couple mentioning that they like our work and all of that, and they would like to do their wedding with us at
Okay.
Caravella Beach Resort. So the most interesting part about that wedding was the mail said that they've traveled to 4 different destinations. It's like Bali, Tibet,
Oh,
India, and Turkey.
okay.
So they wanted all their 4 events to be based on those places that
That
they've
they
traveled. Yeah, yeah. So it was very interesting for us because then again it's like, oh, thank God we don't have to do the same thing now. We have to break our heads
Yeah.
and figure out. So we had the first event we had it was a Balinese theme Mendi.
Okay.
But again that time we've not traveled to Bali to kind of understand. So we just looked up on the internet to see what inspiration we can take. Then the groom also helped us. He said Bali is famous for like a lot of the umbrellas that they have off the street. So then we said, okay, we can take that as an element. So we had like the pathway with like the umbrellas, the platform, like the main stage and platform that you usually have.
Yeah.
We did like a nice bamboo skirting to it.
Oh,
We played with jute table overlays.
Wonderful.
We played with edible centerpieces, so people could eat the centerpiece like the fruits.
Amazing, yeah.
So that was the Balinese theme. Tibetan haldi, we kind of sourced a lot of flags from Tibet,
Okay.
and we kind of incorporated that in the haldi event.
That must be logistically quite a
Yeah, it was
source of
crazy,
material.
but it was like working with a vendor for the first time and not sure if that thing is going to reach.
Yeah.
And the moment it reaches, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
it's finally coming together.
Yeah. Must
And
be
then-
so much of stress also, no?
Yeah, but it's fun at the same time because we are also excited when we're working on the project.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We also had like, so we worked with a local artist from Goa to kind of make like a Buddha
Okay.
statue also. So it went with the Tibetan theme. And Sangeet was a Turkish theme. That was, we worked with a lot of Moroccan, Turkish elements, and
Yeah.
Indian was wedding, which is like pretty
Easiest part of
easiest
it.
part, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that opened our eyes also to kind of do weddings differently.
Mhm.
You don't have to follow the same template.
Yeah.
You can always ask your couples for inspiration. You can ask them what they like as a couple,
Right.
what is their fun moments, and try and incorporate that in whichever areas. It can be in decor, it can be through planning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But make sure it's very, personal.
personal.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's lovely,
Yeah.
lovely to hear. Weddings can be emotionally intense, as
Yeah.
we know, culturally layered, and also logistically very complex. So, what are the most challenging parts of your job, Mark, that people never see behind the scenes?
I think people don't see a lot. Everything looks very interesting on Instagram, and we definitely have to make it
Make
look
it look
Instagram.
interesting.
But I think I like the fact of these days a lot of people are showing a lot what happens behind the scenes, because literally a lot happens. Like for example, logistically, like when we are planning weddings also, there are times wherein a lot of unexpected things can happen. Like we've had a wedding also once where, like a vintage car for that matter,
Okay.
some vintage car, there are sometimes it can break down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it broke down for one of our weddings,
Oh
and the
my
barat was just starting.
Oh my gosh.
And I directly go to the groom's father and I told him that this is the scenario, and he's like, "Why are you worried?" He's like, "BMW Manga Hotel se." I'm like, "Okay, how can this guy be so relaxed?" And he was a nice
Yeah.
client also.
Thank God.
But at the same time, I made sure I arranged for another vintage car in half an hour.
Oh wow.
So we started with the BMW for like 10 minutes, got a few shots, and the second vintage car came from Margao to this in half an hour.
Wow, kudos to you. I mean,
Yeah.
like 10 minutes. That is
So
like, I mean, unheard of so quickly. Because
yes,
usually people are booked, and all
yeah,
that.
people are booked, but the thing is, we work with these vendors who have a lot of other cars also.
Okay.
So we kind of figured out a way, because see, a lot of problems arise on site.
Right.
We definitely have checklist, we have our sheets that we follow, but we make sure that is 100%. So to keep space for things that are unavoidable on site.
Yeah, like something with a vintage car, you would know maybe you might need a backup because
Yes, yes.
there is a potential.
But there are only
for-
certain number of vintage cars maybe
Yeah,
in
that
in
is
Goa also,
true.
and imagine the number of weddings in Goa
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. At that time of the year when there are all these weddings are so busy that
Yeah.
most of the people are booked. That's why I would think
Exactly.
that within 10 minutes to get.
Yeah, and I think this vendor of ours, I'm sure he got it from another venue and
Oh.
like set it for us. But
So that's
yeah,
why
I think
contacts is also so important.
yeah,
right?
yeah, to sort things out
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, it's the client's big day. They are here for that moment. The sun is also kind of almost going down, so you
Yeah.
need to make sure everything goes well in sync.
Yeah, it all happens like once, right?
Yes.
So, now in this business, you have to have very good people skills. So, how does one develop those skills? You think, and does it come naturally, or is it something that you can work on? to start
After like a beer or two, my people skills are very good.
Yeah.
But before that, I'll take some time to kind of adjust.
Yeah.
So, with regards to people skills, what we realized in this whole business is any client, the first call that I do with my clients, if I don't bond well, or if I feel that there's no vibe or energy when we are talking or discussing the wedding, it can be a project which you'll take up for the sake of taking up. But the moment you build a vibe with that client, see, because in the end they need planners that can trust their whole wedding with. They don't need someone who's just going to close the door when it's required.
It's almost like a journey. With
Yeah,
them.
it's a journey right from the first call till the last goodbye.
Yeah.
So people skills in that matter, you need to be a good vibes person also to kind of gel along with them,
Right.
because you also need to bring out the best in your couples, because sometimes say some brides won't really open up until you kind of keep on having different conversations through the whole process.
Yeah.
So that is very important, and definitely it can be built by kind of talking to different people, working like with vendors also. It's very important, because every vendor has different tantrums. Like some vendor will be like, why are you calling me early? I'm anyways going to reach on time.
Yes.
So, but you need to know how to tackle which vendor, because in the end your show has to go smooth.
Right. If you lose your cool. then
Yes, so
it's-
having people skills at ground level and client level is also important.
Yeah, that is true.
Even at the hotel level, when we are working with different resorts, we make sure like we're in good books with all the security guards, because because
That's interesting.
they are the first point of contact when you're entering every hotel.
Right. If they
So
stop you there, that's
yeah,
another,
yeah.
yeah,
So you
that's
need to
it.
make sure every layer is taken care
Care
of.
of, yeah.
Yeah, and weddings are also very emotional. Like everyone's anxious also these days.
Yeah. Your
Like
nerves are always like,
yeah, so you need to
like
make
this.
sure you're calming down your like
Yeah.
the couple.
Yeah.
The grooms are usually chill because they know they just have to come and show up, but the brides are the ones.
Obviously, they have to do all the work.
Yeah, they have to do all the work.
Yeah. Um, that's interesting, Mark. I mean, I'm
Yes,
sure you must have had so many different interesting experiences that shaped, your journey.
yes,
So, uh, let's talk about an interesting thing called the Infinity Mandap that you created recently, right? Using
yeah.
32,000 roses,
Roses, yeah.
which is insane, and that won you many accolades. That's not just design there; that's engineering as well. Like if you look
Yes,
at, I saw the picture and I was like, it blew my mind.
yeah.
So, can you walk us through that project? Like, what were your biggest challenges with that particular project, and how did you even come up with stuff like that?
So we were like almost 4 months away from the main wedding, and the mandap was not locked on.
Okay.
And my design head Harsha, so she kind of came up with the whole concept because we wanted to do something very different. It wasn't done, so we had one of the best teams also to work with, even in terms of floral. So we had multiple meetings with the vendors to make sure all of them are in sync.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you have one person who's not on the same page as this person, then it gets a bit
Yeah, there's a
difficult.
lot of coordination
Yeah,
required.
yeah. So coordination has to be on point. So it was quite a interesting process. We took like a big print of the whole mandap, and then we fabricated it as per that.
Yeah.
Then we made sure the joinings also were kind of intricate and to the T, because uh, it had to be done as per reference, right? And like if you give it to any fabricator to kind of do it, sometimes there are chances of not getting it right.
Yeah.
So we made sure like the bending also was done properly,
Okay.
just to get that actual look.
Look, yeah. How long did it take? Like on the day?
On the day, so since we were doing the wedding on the beach at Zuri,
Yeah.
we kind of started 3 days prior.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it took 3 days to set up the whole
Yes,
installation.
yes. So we got the
Amazing.
platforms in first, and then we kind of bought because everything was cut in pieces.
Yeah.
So we had to get piece by piece and then assemble it, because the florist also would need one more day.
Yeah. And besides the mandap, there were other things as well.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Because we wanted that main structure to be out. Other
Yeah.
things can always be figured, like the
Yeah.
furniture, the other details.
Yeah.
But putting that up was quite an interesting thing
So
also
it
for
just
us.
came up. I mean, it's
The
not so
thing
easy
is-
to execute, like you were saying earlier in
Yeah.
the interview, that it's one thing to have ideas and another thing to
Execution
execute.
is also very important.
So really well done.
And so basically the bride also, we wanted something to reflect on their story also as well, because
Okay.
they were like madly in love with each other.
Okay.
And we thought nothing like doing something on the infinity style kind of a thing, so at least there is some continuity in the where that is also replicated in the design.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool concept.
And at the same time, we also had to keep in mind the cultural stuff, like in terms of for the rituals, because we had to use like the chori matkis that we usually have. So
I see.
we can't get a chori matki that kind of looks a bit off, because it has to go well. So we got some nice glass bowls, and we
Okay.
placed that. So
I see.
because the mom specifically wanted that to
That.
be done, but we also had to keep the design in mind.
It'll keep everyone happy. right?
Yes.
Looking for a place to unwind? Discover the Origin Goa, where craft cocktails, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable vibes come alive. From live music to irresistible views all throughout the week, there's always something happening. Why wait? The evening starts at 5 p.m. Why wait to find out about what everyone's talking about? I'll be here, probably enjoying one of these. Let's make it a night to remember, the Origin Goa.
Now, an important part, like I wanted to come to, is that you're known for never repeating a design, which is, it's not easy to do.
Yes.
So, doesn't that make your work, harder? Like, what drives you to always create something new?
Uh, I think it's the couple's inspiration. If they give us a free hand to do what we want to do, nothing like it. We open all our saved concepts and whatever we always dream of kind of execution, we go back to that.
Okay.
And it's not harder, in fact, because see, it's a process, and it needs to be kind of the client also should be okay with it.
Yeah.
Executing it is not a problem because it all comes down to the back end work, like whether it's actually executable, what is the material being used, will it be able to take the weight if it's somewhere by the beach or something. So all
Maybe
those
if you're
things.
working with personalized, like the idea of keeping things personal, it's
Yeah.
easier to then have a different concept or different design
Yes,
every time.
yes.
Right?
With personalized, it's like it's fun also, but that's what keeps us going. In fact, otherwise, like I said,
You would
keep
be
on saying,
bored.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, a wedding is part art, part production, and part hospitality as well. So, how do you manage creativity and logistics at the same time?
So in our team also, we've kind of split the teams in such a way that we have a team that looks into planning and a team that looks into decor design.
Okay.
So planning team kind of looks into like the airport arrivals
Oh.
of all the guests, making sure if they have to be given like a welcome snack at the airport, then their logistics, the cabs and the coaches that bring them to the resort,
Yeah.
their guest welcome over there, and definitely planning like the artist, vendors.
Yeah.
So we have a separate team that looks into that and a separate team that looks into decor design,
Okay.
because you can't really mix both.
Mix
Others
both,
you'll
yeah.
yeah.
Something will go wrong somewhere.
Exactly. So decor design also, the team works back and they start like a day prior, depending on how extensive the setup is. Because sometimes from a resort's point of view, also not all venues we get like 24 hours prior. Sometimes there's a, say for example, right now there's a Sangeet happening for today, and tomorrow I need the same venue back, and my setup is also very extensive,
Okay.
wherein I need 24 hours. But then
Yeah.
at that time we need to kind of double up the labor,
Yeah.
speed up the work. So all of those things have to be kind of considered.
Considered, yeah. How big is your team?
So we have a core team of 12 members.
Okay.
And depending on the scale of the project, we kind of have like teams that come on board to support.
Okay. Okay. Great. I mean, it's not easy to handle so many people and
Yeah, that's
delegate and
another
all of that stuff also.
thing altogether. Yeah.
And other than that, this line of work has late nights for sure, right? As well
Yeah.
as early mornings, I'm sure, multiple meetings and execution all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about how you manage your time, your day, your routine, like, because I'm sure without being organized, none of
Yeah,
this would be
yeah.
possible.
So in terms of organizing, for me it's pretty straightforward. I look and see what is the most important thing from each wedding that has to be sorted, because we know like 30% or 20% when we are doing custom stuff, it has to be done on time, or there's always a time limit for it. Say for example, if we have a wedding happening 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
if we are doing custom overlays or custom cushion covers or custom designs or fabrication work, we need to start that first. So that is how we plan the time in terms of prepping.
Okay.
And nights, so I think that's a very common thing, because like our design team also is on site making sure every placement is done right,
Yeah.
because that is most important. Because once the placement is done, then everything falls in place. Because once your guests come the next day in the morning, they need to walk into the space and feel the whole vibe of the place.
Right.
Because if one thing is placed a bit odd, and then you feel like, okay, why is that placed over there?
How do you oversee all of this? Like,
Reporting structures through WhatsApp, we get updates of whether the teams have come in, the structures placed, if there's any challenges, if there's a window is not picking up.
yeah.
So then accordingly, we have to kind of find
Handle it.
alternate ways. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. But I mean, it's so much hard work. But I'm
Yes.
sure it's satisfying, right?
Yeah, it is definitely satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, the end moment is satisfying once the wedding, during the wedding moment, once they exchange their garlands,
Yeah.
during the Varmala moment, that's the ultimate part, and having the sunset at the background,
That's
because
like your work.
all
done.
of this is
Yeah.
only for that.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
like months of preparation.
Yeah, months of preparation.
Yeah. And your work, sits somewhere between art, there's engineering involved, and experience design.
Yeah.
So, where do you see your craft evolving in the next few years between these things?
So in terms of design, like in terms of art also, we would like to work on a lot of new and fresh designs for most of the weddings that we get. And we like working with local artists that are based in Goa, to try and see what flavor we can also add of like a Goan touch to
Goa.
it. And nothing
Very
like
nice.
working with people from the lay of the
Local
land.
artisans,
Yes.
yeah.
So that is what we are planning on doing. We're already working on with a few artists to kind of make like hampers and all of that
Oh, very nice.
out of leaves and all of
Yeah.
those kind of custom stuff.
Okay.
But eventually we would want like a lot of people from the art background also to come on board, because everyone has wild ideas
Yes.
and they have more technical knowledge also in terms of how things can be done.
Yeah.
So nothing like using that in the wedding space and event space.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because even for this, the Infinity
Mandap.
Mandap, we won the award in the category for the best floral installation at a wedding.
Yeah.
Because not everyone would like to experiment with this category,
Exactly.
but we thought might as well we
Yeah, it
do
wasn't
it.
an easy
Yes.
task, and to execute it that well. And,
Yeah.
hats off to you for that.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure it required a lot of coordination, and you have to trust your
Yes, you have to
your-
trust
your
the
team,
teams,
yeah.
and you have to select your teams. I mean, throughout these years, we know every vendor's capability also in
Yeah.
terms of what can be done, what can't be done. So we play the bet
Yeah.
accordingly.
Like your fabricator probably had to be really good as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
because it
exactly.
had to hold up, right?
Exactly.
The
It had to take
design.
the whole weight,
Yeah.
and we're doing it bang on the beach.
Yeah. Anything new or innovative you're thinking, in the next few years you will try from an engineering front? with your
Not from an
installation?
engineering front, but I feel it's all on depending on the clients and the couples in the end.
What they ask
Yes,
for. But do you
what they
see
ask for.
people asking for more modern designs, or like how do you see it evolving?
So yes, modern design definitely. And one more thing is we've seen a lot of clients, like we love working with architects also. Like we did a lot of weddings where the couples were architects and they
Oh.
also picked us. So working with them was also very interesting
Yeah.
because they also have their vision, and nothing like working with them to kind of bring it to life.
So yeah, together. I'm sure they know exactly what
They know
want,
exactly
so
what they want,
you have
and
to
yes,
cater to that.
yeah.
So Mark, I had an interesting question about, we see all these fancy installations that are put up for these destination weddings.
Yeah.
So much time goes into it. So what happens after the wedding to the everything that you've sourced? Like for
Yeah.
example, the Infinity Mandap, you had all those 32,000 roses there. What
Yeah.
happens to them after the wedding, after the event?
So the main structures that we make, we usually discard them after
Okay.
the events because it's made specifically for that couple.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't like to use it again.
Wow.
Flowers definitely we can
Yeah.
we reuse.
But even structures, like what do you do with it? Like, because you must be getting several weddings,
Yeah.
so many installations.
So
You
the
just-
thing is, we play a lot with your color palettes. If it's some structures, right?
Yeah.
We play with the color palette. We play with the floral because that is what comes over the structures.
Okay.
So that is how we make use of the existing inventory also.
Reuse, yeah,
Reuse kind
yeah.
of a thing.
Yeah, because I can't imagine having so many, just to discard. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everything can always be used somewhere else
Yeah.
for sure. There is always something that can be made of, and we also use a lot. We work with a lot of scrapyards.
Yeah.
We get a lot of stuff from there because those kind of personalized stuff also can come into events, and those things
Yeah.
we definitely reuse
And
again.
nothing like reusing.
Yeah,
It's
nothing like
always,
reusing it.
Best for the environment.
Yes,
Yeah.
and even like we beautify the space. Like for example, if we're using a welcome board in a certain way, we'll kind of maybe use the same structure and do the floral in a different way,
Yeah.
or have the styling done a bit differently.
Definitely.
Have the props also that is a bit different. So
Yeah.
that is how
So
we
you
style
work
the
with it
events.
somehow.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for that
Yes.
information. So coming down to one of our final questions, Mark, for today, uh, for all our creative entrepreneurs who are listening to this today, what advice would you give about building a career based on imagination, there's consistency and detail?
So I think, like I said, it's easy to kind of enter this industry, but in terms of uh, creativity, in terms of detail, you need to be consistent also with what you do. And coming up with design is definitely one thing, but making sure you bring that to life, having like the material knowledge, having the actual understanding of how you're going to execute it is also important. It's not about just having a design in front of you and you're like, okay, chala, I want to do this,
Yeah.
but having an idea of how you want to do it. So definitely working with the experts, working with like the right teams to kind of execute it for you is also important.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's great advice for anyone who wants to, get into this industry.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mark, for your
Thank you.
time
Thank you
today.
for having
and
me.
it was all this was so informative, so insightful, and very inspiring, really.
Thank
I
you so
hope
much.
that our viewers will get inspired by your story. And yeah, thank you so much
Yes.
for your time.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
all
you.
the very best.
Thank you.